Arsenal at home in the Champions League have been perfect for a whole year now. Out of their famously narrow tunnel, back into an impossibly congested group, nothing between them. This whole night is too tight for comfort. Better part of 2,500 fans have travelled from Leverkusen. Their team have never been champions of Germany, but they are leaders in that country now after a crushing victory at the weekend. In addition to which, Juve are a point off the top in Italy, Deportivo 3 off it in Spain, Arsenal right in the English hunt. Group D includes the potential champions of Europe's top 4 leagues. Fresh memories of last week mean that there may be one or two less polite sentiments behind these formal greetings. Did Basturk dive to elicit Ray Parler's second yellow? Wasn't Jens Novotny clattered? What about Igor Stepanov's handball? It is all water, not quite under the bridge. More than 10% of Bayer Leverkusen's average home gate of travel. It's their club's first ever visit to England. They represent the 8th different German club to visit Highbury, and of those, only Borussia Mönchengladbach have won here, and no club from any visiting nation has beaten Arsenal here in 5.5 years since that result. So tonight's business, well, it is rather defender-heavy, but you can put together a pretty decent 11 of Arsenal's first teamers unavailable. It's a mercy for Arsene Wenger then that Lee Dixon, 38 next month, is just about fit to become the 25th different player he's used in the Champions League this season. First-choice right-back Lauren fills in as fourth-choice left-back, and 3.5 weeks since his last game, Bergkamp gets to partner Henry. Bayer Leverkusen, by marked contrast, hardly have a care in the world. At centre-half, Jens Novotny, quite recently an Arsenal transfer target, skipped training last night to protect a minor knock, and the vast Brazilian Lucio trained alone for the same sort of reason. Otherwise, they're actually strengthened since last week by the return to midfield of Carsten Ramelow, one of 7 German internationals, alongside 2 Brazilians, a Croat and an Argentine. Bare bones on the bench for Arsenal. Kanu is still not fit. There are 3 teenagers on that list. Richard Wright is the oldest at 24, and the 6 outfield subs have 1 full European club appearance between them. Shock horror, no Arsenal player was booked here on Saturday. Tonight they seek to escape the attention of Luxembourgeois referee Alain Amer. He's younger than David Seaman, Lee Dixon, and by 6 days Ulf Kirsten. On which subject, Ron, it is a big night for the veterans.
Massive. Lee Dixon, he won't let them down. He'll be faced by 2 left-handers, 2 South American left-handers that will come at him. Of Kirsten, on the other hand, the centre forward, will be an irritant. He'll be hanging around those 2 centre-halves, pestering anything across the box he'll be on the end of. He's a bit nasty, got a little bit of spite about him.
100 caps for him, East Germany and United Germany. Well, for those who still lament the passing of the dear old knockout European Cup, here in effect is a classic second leg. The value of Arsenal's point in Leverkusen can only really be determined by what they glean at home. Tonight's winners will be on the verge of great things, the losers on the brink of elimination. But Arsenal always deliver here. Sol Campbell, the super rock. Lauren, who played the last 3 minutes up to half-time against Fulham at left-back on Saturday, but that's the extent of his experience in that position. Carsten Ramelow sits in the Bayer Leverkusen's midfield. That's Kirsten's first touch. Wiltor and now Bergkamp. Gilles Grimondi is down and requiring attention out of your picture at the moment on the edge of the centre circle, as if Arsenal didn't have enough problems already. Ballack has played on until now.
Just looking at the way Bayer have lined up, you know, Nerval is going to play more or less, by the look of it. Here's where they go in. It looks as if he's just got him across the face, quite unintentionally, I think, there. Looks as if Nerval's going to play very much on the wide right to start with. I like that system. One up the middle, Nerval wide on the right, and Z Roberto probably on the left. That makes it very difficult for the home team Arsenal to get out through their fullbacks.
Arsene Wenger concerned that the health of his perpetual understudy Gilles Grimondi. He is very lucky to have Grimondi as a card in his pack, and Grimondi is lucky to be an understudy at a club like Arsenal, where the next suspension or injury is never far away. Centre half, central midfield. There's always going to be a game for him. Above Nerval. Only just feeling his way back after his extended spell in Mali. Overextended in the view of Arsene Wenger, who wasn't pleased that Cameroon didn't let him home sooner after winning the African Cup of Nations. There's Kirsten. Campbell, whom Arsene Wenger said the other day, just imagine if we hadn't signed him. What sort of problems would there be now? Keown, Adams, Upson, all missing. Zivkovic up the line, the Croat. Nerval couldn't keep it in. Full German international, of course, 29 caps. He is actually a French-speaking individual from Switzerland originally. First German international who required an interpreter when he joined up with the national team. Laurie. To Ramelow. Schneider. Nerval. Zivkovic. Bernd Schneider. In towards Ballack, who has Kirsten ahead of him. It is off Kirsten, against whom the flag is raised.
Slick movement there, good passing all the way through the side. And I think, you know, I saw these play Saturday in that game against Dortmund, and I've got to tell you, I think this is one hell of a hard game. He's well offside there, but I think this is one hell of a hard game for Arsenal. They actually reminded me a lot of Arsenal on Saturday, in as much as they went very, very quickly from midfield. Their front six, if you like, were all very, very lively players.
That's the coach, Klaus Toppmüller. He's not one of the better-known coaches in Germany. He's come up through smaller clubs, but he follows in quite a line of succession at the club. Recent history of big names, including Christoph Daum, Rudi Völler, Bertie Vogts. And it was Eric Riebeck, another who became national coach, that really helped them kick on in the mid-80s to become a big club. It's Placente, the Argentine. Ballack. Zé Roberto. Schneider, who's played more centrally than he did in the home game last week.
Yeah, I think this is due to the fact, I think the lad Neuville's come out on the right-hand side. Schneider's gone in to make them solid. But it's a great opportunity for Arsenal.
Off the back of a terrific tackle from Vieira. Pires, Bergkamp through the middle. Robert Pires for Arsenal. Oh, terrific! Why wouldn't he be the player of the season? As productive as anything Arsenal have right now. And inside 5 minutes, the scorer in the Bayer Arena last week is Arsenal's scorer at the North Bank Highbury this week.
Well, that's incredible. As you say, a wonderful tackle from Vieira. He picks it up. Henry takes the cover up there. Cuts back in. No tackle laid on him. Great placement.
For Robert Pires, a 10th goal of the season. Add to those innumerable assists. and you have a package who has become integral to everything that this club does well. Harshly compared in his early days at the club to Mark Overmars. There were some who doubted he would kick on and train on and become a proper gunner, but boy, he has done that in recent months. He is the only ever present in the Champions League this year for Arsenal. And Thierry Henry wants him to be Footballer of the Year. And that's not a bad recommendation.
That was probably the first bit of decent possession they had as well, Arsenal, wasn't it? Because in the opening few minutes, it would have been all Bayern.
Lucius. Well, won by Pires. Nerville. Ramelow. Lauren. Pires under pressure from Zivkovic. Still located Bergkamp in a crowd. And Vieira and Bergkamp, and Arsenal are off again. It's 3-on-2. It is Wiltor. It's Thierry Henry. It's 2-0 Arsenal. They're flying.
You know, when you have a match as big as this, you look for your big players that to really produce. Manchester United did it last night. Arsenal have done it tonight. The big players have really made things happen. I mean, this is a wonderful piece of football. Great interplay. Bergkamp measures the pass, teases the last four in. Wiltor plays it across, and that guy does not miss. That is superb football. Perfectly executed. Everybody waits the passes right. Great movement, great finish. What a great position for Arsenal.
And another little landmark for Thierry Henry, for whom that was his 50th goal at Highbury. It is also, of course, his 7th in this season's Champions League. Van Nistelrooy went to 8 last night. Trezeguet started this evening on 8. He beat Van Nistelrooy to 20 Premiership goals at the weekend. Van Nistelrooy beat him to 30 for the season last night. It's nip and tuck, it's a super race. A Frenchman and a Dutchman doing great things for two great English clubs.
I think the blessing is they don't play together. That would be absolutely an unstoppable combination.
You wouldn't want to select between them. Ballack, Roberto, and Bayer Leverkusen, it now goes without saying, have to attempt to chase this game. As I said at the start of the game, Arsenal's points in Leverkusen can only really be judged off the back of what they achieved tonight, and it now looks a fantastic point if they deprive the Germans of all three here. Lauren. Pires. Henry. Bergkamp's pulled away. Henry's seeking him out. Lucio should deal with that. And does with the help of Novotny. Bergkamp.
They've already proven it twice, Arsenal, that when they do attack, I mean, that they're very light in numbers. Bayer, I heard Arsene Wenger talking before the game about they're not a typical German side in rigid discipline at the back. They seem as if they do commit most people into the attacking areas. I mean, Ballack's not looking to do much defending, and the one that surprised me is the blonde fellow Ramelow. I thought he would be sat in front of the back four, digging things out, but at the moment they're just playing where they fancy. But good to watch. They're not going to close the game up, that's for sure. They can't now anyway.
Wilton. Ballack. So Roberto to chase. Dixon's near 38-year-old legs were pumping alongside him to stay pace for pace.
Yeah, he won't let them down. Lee Dixon won't let. He'll have enough adrenaline flowing tonight. I mean, that's a great placement, that.
Beautiful craft in that shot and in that pass from Wiltor. And Thierry Henry is one on whom you would put your house, your maison. News of another goal in this group in just a second. It's not just into Highbury that they're starting to fly in. Pires has won it for Bergkamp. And the flag is up. And the goal has come in the game, of course, between Deportivo and Juventus, and it has gone to the Spanish side. Deportivo La Coruña 1, Juventus 0. Diego Tristan with that goal in the rear thought. A reminder that this group started tonight with 4 points each. Arsenal's next game a fortnight from now is at home to Deportivo, and they finish in Turin. It would be handy to have the whole thing wrapped up before they make that trip.
I think the important thing now, Peter, is that they defend sensibly. If what you call the solid players defend, the flair players have shown that they can really rip the Germans apart.
Nerva, Schneider, Zivkovic, Ballack, out steps Grimandi, Vieira, space ahead of him, and Pires ahead of him, and Arsenal have 4-on-3 this time. Henry's going outside of Pires. And he's got away from Lucio, and he's fed it back to Wiltor, who let it slip. Zivkovic, Nerva, Vieira, whose tackle, it ought not to be forgotten, just on the edge of the centre circle, was what precipitated the first goal.
I know they're 2 down and they've got to chase again, but I still can't believe how much space they're giving in the middle of the field when they lose possession. Leverkusen. I mean, Arsenal, when they win it, if they just take the time a little bit, they can play Bergkamp in comfortably. Pires has had all the space in the world. You know, at this level, you don't let great players have that much room.
Lucio. Placente, the Argentine left full back. Took it away from Wiltor. Invited the Brazilian Roberto forward. It's his second trip to these shores in the last fortnight. Placente, he played against Wales in the Millennium Stadium 2 weeks ago against Bellamy and Giggs and Hartson. I went to the game and it was a terrific contrast. Played in a 3 with Vivas and Chamot. Chamot against Hartson, 2 7'6". It was a really good battle.
I think if they can establish something, I could see him going on a lot of overlap runs round the back of Roberto, but at the moment they can't really afford. Every time they come forward, Arsenal spring them.
Nerville trying to get round Lauren. It's Nerville's cross and Kirsten coming in. Out by Dixon. Gathered by Bergkamp.
Just shows there what they're capable of. That's good work by the man on the ball now, Nerville. Good run, good cross. Fortunately for Arsenal, because they're only playing the lone striker up the middle, Kirsten, there weren't people flying into the box.
Michael Ballack on his way to Bayern Munich this summer after the World Cup, in which he will certainly play a major part. Zivkovic, Nerville. In again towards Kirsten and out by Stepanov, so it came to Schneider and it was repelled by Gilles Grimandi. Vieira, Henry with so much space to turn, and Bergkamp alongside. Novotny going back and effecting a key and beautifully timed tackle. But I take your point, the time Henry had to set himself and get the pass away.
They're just dropping off the defenders a little bit, and neither Novotny or Lucio are going in with them.
Bless you, Ron. You'll gather that Ron passed the late fitness test for this game. He's braving the cold, and it is a chilly night tonight. So Roberto, Schneider.
Might be chilly, the football's red hot.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I mean, high tempo. I mean, to be fair to Leverkusen, they've from the word go, they've come out and attacked. It's cost them. But there's Neuville, a great crossover, and good defending there by Stepanovs.
Well, Stepanov's has his critics, and plenty of them, not least inside this ground, but actually he defended very stoutly last week. Arsenal have only kept a couple of clean sheets in the last 19 games, and he's been involved in one of them, the one against Everton a couple of weeks back. Unfortunate anniversary for Igor Stepanov's fell just in the last few days. The 6-1 defeat Arsenal suffered at Old Trafford last season, for which he was largely found culpable, but he's recovered well. Novotny. In step Grimondi. Wilton.
You know, you mentioned earlier about Grimondi. He is basically out, not one of their first team players, but I'm sure every time I see the Arsenal play, he's in the team.
Bergkamp. Out by Placente. On for Ballack. So Roberto. Ramelow, who missed last week's game in the Bayer Arena. Zivkovic effected a terrific dummy on Nerville.
Zivkovic, the Croat at right back, he's looking to get forward at every opportunity. I think you'd be well advised to say, all right, I better go and shut Pires out the game a little bit, because you know he's leaving him acres of space to play in. That's the first real challenge they put on one of the Arsenal creative players.
Ramelow, Nerville, cut out by Henry. Why wouldn't he be hungry? Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp. Oh, this is lovely stuff. Flag is up, what a shame.
That is unfortunate, that is very unfortunate. That would have been a delight if Bergkamp's ball had gone into Henry's path.
Well, it isn't showboating, but it is showtime football from Arsenal at times. Nevertheless, they must defend. Nerville, Kirsten, Ballack, Placente, Schneider. In for Placente. Dealt with by Stepanovs. And lashed clear by Sol Campbell. Schneider. Wonder whether David Seaman will be included against Italy at Leeds for England next month. Henry.
I should think a clean sheet tonight won't do him any harm, will it? But he'll have to keep his focus all game, because these will come back. I mean, they've certainly shown no signs of capitulating. Leverkusen, they've played their way. They're an adventurous side. Probably a little too adventurous for an opening stage of a European match, but in terms of a football game, that's good.
Zivkovic. Nerville, Zivkovic. Fine interception by Grimondi. And the flag anyway was up.
But he's looking forward. He's looking to get forward at every opportunity. Zivkovic, some nice little 1-2s. Yeah, I don't think Zivkovic was offside. He might have considered himself a bit unfortunate with that decision.
There's a story to tell, actually, Zivkovic. He had a rather interrupted start to the season. There he is taking the throw with a dislocated shoulder, and then he suffered a further suspension because the manager became angry when he delayed a substitution whilst taking off jewellery in a Bundesliga game against Borussia Mönchengladbach. That cost him another 2 or 3 weeks of this campaign. Ballack, Lucio, Novotny, so Roberto, Ramelow, so Roberto, Ramelow, Placente.
Yeah, that's certainly the area I would expect, and it may well be that Arsenal's so-called, well, it is a narrow pitch, might help Arsenal in that respect, because on a wide pitch I could see those two left-handed, left-sided South Americans, a lot of double-ups down there.
Bergkamp. Roberto. Kirsten. Ballack.
He's been a bit milky at the moment, Ballack. Supposed to be the best player in Germany at the moment. You would have to say he's been a bit disappointing, but he's got good quality. At the moment, he just ain't showing it.
Lucio. Zivkovic. Nerville. Lucio. One for Vieira. Henry.
This is frightening. Oh, I thought he was going to travel with it.
Away from Zivkovic. Henry. Nice idea from Wiltord.
Yeah, might have over-elaborated there a little bit. Nice, good intention, but I just wonder whether Henry may have tried to have emulated Pires with a shot from there. Certainly they're allowed to pick it up and travel long distances without a challenge being put on them.
Fouled by Pires. Henry was offside. Pires having released the pass, clashed with Carsten Ramelow. He's one they could do without getting injured.
Yeah, he's aware, Pires is aware of Ramelow's challenge. He just has to nick the ball in early.
That's a smashing ball from Campbell, and Lauren was invited forward for it. Campbell. Schneider only squeezed it out for Wiltord. Bergkamp. Wiltord. At Novotny. Sylvain Wiltord. Keeper got a touch.
Yeah, tremendous positive run from Sylvain Wiltord. Once again engineered by a bright little start from Bergkamp. Delightful little layup, puts him in. He's always gone at a bad angle, but he makes the keeper work.
Pires with the corner. Stepanovs with a header, and Hans-Jörg Butt clawed it away. Igor Stepanovs just has one rather low-key Worthington Cup goal to his name so far in Arsenal colours. That one would have counted for more. Lauren. Aimed at Bergkamp, out by Placente. Pires. Demandi tidying up as he does so well.
That would have been a massive goal, wouldn't it? I mean, this is a good ball in. He's attacked it unmarked again, I might add. Good acrobatic stop from the keeper.
Hans-Jörg Butt is Germany's third goalkeeper. And, denied Igor Stepanovs there. He's behind Oliver Kahn, of course, and Jens Lehmann of Borussia Dortmund. He has one cap. Placente has stayed down. The referee wants them to get on with it or get him off the field. Nerville. Schneider, Ramelow, Nerville. Good tackle by Lauren. What a good tackle inside the penalty area. No margin for error.
Yeah, he's certainly got the hard job tonight, because the guys against Nerville's look bright and promising, and he's looked the menace from the right-hand side at the moment.
So Roberto to deliver. Henry defending the near post. Novotny, the skipper, back in towards Kirsten. Out by Stepanovs. Into the stars by Vieira. Ramelow again, bit of space now for Schneider. In towards Kirsten, out by Campbell. Henry wants it first and gets it first. Vieira. Grimaldi. Zivkovic. Nerville. Ramelow. Placente. So Roberto. Best spell of the game this for Bayer Leverkusen. They've had a bit of the ball.
They've had plenty of ball all game. I tell you what's happening. I look at them now. They're playing as if they're playing with wing backs, but they've only got two central defenders who are often being marked, who are often asked to mark 1v1. I mean, they're made to measure for counter-attacking, particularly for a team with Arsenal's quality.
Schneider, it's a good-looking ball for Nerville. Faced by Lauren. Zivkovic. Over the top of Zé Roberto, bounced unkindly for Placente. Schneider can keep it in. Ballack. Away from Drimondi, Michael Ballack ran into Patrick Vieira, came back to Ramelow. Then Zé Roberto. Stepanov's well station. It's an Arsenal ball.
Yeah, a little bit of niggle going there between Placente and Bergkamp. Dennis has put his crunching tackle on him, and a little bit of afters. Not altogether sure that the Argentinian was to blame there.
He's shocked. He must have been told that it's not Dennis Bergkamp's job to tackle. Oh, glorious. Pires. Henry. Bergkamp. Flag.
Yeah, he went in very early, Dennis Bergkamp. I thought he'd have held his run a little bit. I mean, what magic play on the left-hand side there. I mean, oh, are you sure? That's beautiful.
So is this a Champions League game? Oh, actually,
well,
hold on. That's not offside.
He's come from behind the ball. He looked to be well.
That is an incorrect decision. Should be 3-0. Vieira and Ballack clashing out of picture now. It's
that is the first bit of fire Ballack shown, incidentally.
Point I was going to make, by the way, about Thierry Henry's bit of skill is this a Champions League game or a pre-season friendly at St Albans?
Oh, he's on fire. They're on fire. The front four, if Arsenal can keep supplying the front four with some quality, there's all sorts in it from A, because they're on fire, and B, because, quite frankly, Leverkusen are hopeless at marking.
Ballack. Zé Roberto. Out by Lauren. Vieira. Pires. Let's see this again. I suppose it could have been Henry offside there, but even then, the fullback on the far side, Placente.
It's a tight one.
That one's tight, but Bergkamp certainly isn't offside. And I'm not certain Henry was either. I think he was level at worst. Novotny, so Roberto. Foul against Placente. Vieira, that's mine, thank you. Lucio going across in front of his goalkeeper and doing a good job.
Once again, look at the holes though in the middle of your defence. You're 2 down in a European game and there's like a colander at the back.
Ramelow. Nerville. Smashed out by Sol Campbell. Nerville. Schneider. Nerville. Campbell again. Zivkovic. Ramelow. Campbell clashed with Kirsten, who receives the free kick. So Campbell, disregarding League Cup ties, which Arsene Wenger generally does, has played every minute of the last 22 matches. Bergkamp. Vieira. Grimaldi. Lauren.
Have you noticed whenever Vieira goes in for a challenge, even if it's well loaded against him, he always seems to, the blue shirt seems to just fade from the scene.
Yes. Wiltor. With by Novotny. Ramelow, considered in Germany to be sort of Jens Jeremies Mark II. Over the top by Lucio, out by Campbell. Henry. Lucio again. Ramelow. Zivkovic. Henry. Through for Bergkamp, who is offside.
Playing a dangerous game though there, just the 2 centre halves, nobody pressing the ball and they're trying to hold the line against runners. if they keep getting that much space. But this is the danger again from Arsenal's point of view. I think when Nerville's involved, he looks the threat from on the other side.
Well, he is essentially a winger. He certainly began his professional career wide.
I think what's happening as well, that the fellow behind him, Zivkovic, he's trying to play as a winger as well instead of neglecting his defensive duties. That means the two central defenders are virtually covering the whole width of the field.
Pires.
And certainly Novotny's not loaded with pace, as we saw, you know, when England played against them.
Rimondi. Michael Ballack. Oliver Nerville. Boris Zivkovic. Schneider. Cleverly away from Campbell. Bernd Schneider. Too close to David Seaman. Schneider is one of those on the verge of Germany's potential 22. Didn't play in either England game in qualifying, but came back for the playoffs. Here's Bergkamp, Henry, and Wiltor, and a very, very good block by Placente.
Brilliant challenge. Probably the first time they put a real strong challenge on all match. Saved them a goal. Good work again by Henry, though.
Nerville. Wiltor with Placente. It's a Bayer Leverkusen ball. The Argentine's been on the receiving end a few times now. Henry. Vieira. Delayed and then went over and received no sympathy from the official. Ramelow. Nerville.
Problem is when they develop an attack from here, Leverkusen, they've only ever got Kirsten anywhere near a position they can attack with.
Roberto dispossessed by Dixon. Bergkamp with space to turn. Henry ahead of him. Lucio coming across. It's Thierry Henry, and Butters lost it, and Wiltor hadn't quite arrived.
Can understand that, Peter, because he is turbo. That Thierry Henry, I mean, the way he accelerated past Lucio there.
Well, you don't see it there, but he gave Lucio, what, a yard and a half's head start?
Yeah, keeper's got away with it. I mean, to be fair to Wiltor, who is a bit rapid. I'm not sure Linford Christie could have kept up with him there the way he travels. He is something else.
He certainly couldn't with a ball at his feet. Ramelow. Still like Rimondi. Vieira. Bergkamp. Lucio stood his ground. Vieira wanted it back. Ballack. Roberto. Nerville. Zivkovic. Schneider. Offside. But Schneider was serving a domestic suspension at the weekend, which meant he...
Can I just interrupt? Just look in the top of the picture there. Bergkamp and Henry completely unmarked. That is very typical of how the game's developed. Two centre-halves are left to mark those two, and they're not even going in with them. Anytime Arsenal win the ball back, they can spring it straight back into those two.
All sorts flick for Henry. Dixon. Puzzlingly has been given by Leverkusen's way. Alain Amar, the referee, actually operates in the French league. He's Luxembourgeois. So he gave a very dodgy penalty to Paris Saint-Germain at the weekend against Sedan. His only previous engagement in England was, funny enough, here at Highbury last year, Arsenal Sparta Prague. Ballack, Kirsten. Ramelow, Zivkovic. Tackled by Campbell on Nerville. Ramelow. David Seaman's last appearance before his 5-month layoff was in the Champions League in Athens, beaten by a Karagounis header.
I would think at half-time he'll be delighted, Wenger, but I think he'll be sort of saying, look, to the defenders, you stay solid. The two midfield screeners, Vieira and Grimani, you keep putting the foot in, keep preventing, keep tackling, and as soon as you win it, nick it back into the front players, because they have got them on toast at the moment. I just wonder whether Topmalen will be saying whether he'll put Nerville up alongside Kirsten, because he certainly had no support, and for a team that's got like an attacking style about it, they haven't really made a chance. They've had one situation where they've flown it across the box, and they simply and purely haven't got enough men forward from when they've been in attacking positions.
Placente and Wiltor is becoming a prolonged episode here. This time it's Placente who's been penalised, but there's lots of niggle down that flank. Campbell forward for the set piece. Grimondi is in there as well. Henry is delivered. Vieira around the back. Pushing. Finally got a goal against Fulham at the weekend. Might have a nose for them now.
He's having to move people out of his way there. Talking about that Wiltord little tussle, where Wiltord's doing well as well as an attacking force, yeah. But he's making sure that Placente doesn't get forward and support.
Oh, lovely from Bergkamp, and he just couldn't find the right channel for Thierry Henry with the pass.
I mean, they executed their two goals brilliantly, Arsenal, didn't they? And they've had a couple of similar situations where they, just like the one Bergkamp said there, where they just haven't made the pass count.
Ballack. Zivkovic. Nerville. Forward by Novotny. Stepanov's ahead of Roberto. First half stoppage time. Make an awfully big difference to the game if Bayer Leverkusen were to nick one now. Stepanov's with that in mind, with pretty hefty clearance. last 2 or 3 weeks he's looked a whole new player. If you enjoy good football, you have enjoyed the first half at Highbury. Arsenal frighteningly fast out of the blocks. Robert Pires inside 5 minutes. Thierry Henry inside 7. 2 splendid goals. That from Pires, that made by Wiltor for Henry. Half-time, it is Arsenal 2, Bayer Leverkusen 0. Arsenal, equally unsurprisingly, are unchanged. While still Arsenal appear to be able to do no wrong on this ground on European nights, carelessly they've spilt 17 Premiership points on this ground this season. But it's a year and a week since they did anything other than win here in this competition. Well, Leverkusen were unbeaten away from home in the Bundesliga until December, but actually have only taken 1 point from their last 5 away games. They had European wins in Lyon and against Fenerbahce, beaten in Barcelona and in Turin against Juventus. And their travels, things have become a little bit iffy recently, and they are certainly iffy now. It's Dixon with Arsenal's free kick from halfway, and Lucio away. Arsene Wenger had so many problems. He has a full 11 unavailable tonight, but those problems have dissolved now, apparently. His bench is full of little boys in footballing terms, but they'll be enjoying it. It's a great game to have the best seat in the house for.
Yeah, where he's done well tonight, though, his top players have produced. You know, it's in games like this, you look to your top players and say, go on, make it happen. And the Bergkamps, Pires, Henry, of course, and Vieira have made it happen. Now they've just got to get the solid citizens to make sure that they don't do anything stupid.
As ever, they're a more solid citizen than Lee Dixon. Up by Novotny. Dixon. Ballack crashed into him, and Dixon, poor fella, who has missed more than half a season already, will not appreciate that, nor did Ala Amer, who has produced a yellow card for Michael Ballack.
That looks nothing but petulance to me. Ballack seems, he's been a major disappointment tonight.
And he's not universally popular in Germany, you know. He might be the next big thing, but he falls out with coaches. He's not a media favourite by any means.
He's got an attitude.
He's got an attitude, I think that's a fair comment.
He needs a bit of pep about him tonight.
Henry's free kick. Goal! Patrick Vieira, 2 in 2 games. The big French enforcer is employing the London bus adage to his goal scoring. None for months and months, and then they all come at once.
Well, you said Michael Ballack's not too popular in Germany. He's even less popular now. I mean, unfortunately for Leverkusen, the deflection, one of their own defenders, I'm not sure whether it's Novotny who gets a little nick on, but that's good reaction. He's still got plenty to do there, Vieira, and does it well.
It is Patrick Vieira's first ever European goal for Arsenal. And life feels good for his compatriot and coach now. No club side in the world will make a bigger contribution to the French World Cup effort than Arsenal. Just look at the list of scorers here.
Been a real French resistance, isn't it?
Incidentally, no club side in the world, with the possible exception of Bayern Munich, will make a bigger contribution to the German World Cup effort than Bayer Leverkusen. Ballack. Zerroberto is offside.
I think the greatest thing Arsenal have done tonight, you know, the greatest thing they've done is take a 3-0 lead, that's for sure. But they've made Bayer Leverkusen look ordinary, and I promise you, they're not ordinary. And the evidence of what I saw at the weekend, a lot of double. Tremendous side with great tempo, great attacking qualities. And to be fair to Arsenal have smothered them. Smothered them when they've had the good possession. They've made it count.
Campbell. Bergkamp. Oh, that's glorious. Wiltord couldn't quite get there. Placente. Grimaldi. Wiltord. Henry. Grimaldi. Pires. Bergkamp. A shame for him, he hasn't got a World Cup to look forward to. Out steps Novotny. Over the top towards Berbatov. He's cleared the crossbar.
Yeah, first sight of goal they've had. Berbatov, good movement in between the Arsenal central defenders. It's a straight ball, but he's got up the shoulder of Stepanovs. He's a little bit unlucky there.
It's a year now since Bertie Vogts bought Berbatov from CSKA Sofia. Junichi Inamoto, the Japanese international who spends a lot of time on Arsenal's bench and in their reserves. Looks as though he might be getting a taste of the action here. He was one of the three in Munich. Novotny, Werner, who had to put up with Owen and Heskey. Placente, Ballack, Ramelow, cut out by Pires. Well, they've made the trip. It's their big night out in London, and they will enjoy it, come what may. Sorry for the bloke with no shirt on. One's got 5 jumpers tonight. Bastor. Placente. Bastor. Little nibble from Stepanovs, perhaps? No. Bastor is reprimanded, and this is the guy who, it is alleged, threw himself over Ray Parlour to bring about the second yellow card last week. Yildi Bastor, let's have a look.
Must have been
Didn't take much pushing, did he?
Very strong wind in that corner of the ground, I would guess. What he has done, to be fair to him, he's added a little bit of zip to their midfield.
He's got his shove on Henry.
It's poetic, wasn't it, that the Vieira's goal should come from Ballack's unnecessary foul. It was a very, very great bit of petulance.
Yes, he's got a few adjustments to make before he can really call himself a world-class player. Most of them, from what one gathers, mental. Campbell forward for the set piece. Henry lifting it in. Oh! Campbell was closest to it. He and Vieira were drawing lots mid-air.
I'm not too sure who defended that for the Germans. I think Vieira might have defended that. I think by getting there, he might have just have put Campbell off. That's incredible. What was incredible was not one defender tracked their runs. They send the 2 biggest guys they've got, Arsenal, up for a header, and not one German defender tracked them in.
Novotny. Ballack. Bastor. Tackle from Wiltord. Came off Novotny, still reached Bergkamp. Bergkamp's first time for Henry, who didn't get there. Pires labouring to keep it in, and does. Tackle from Ramelow was good. Bala. Nervin. That's one of the next things for Arsenal to aim at would be a clean sheet. They're 12 without a clean sheet in the European competition. And in all competitions they've kept only 2 in the last 19. Very un-Arsenal statistics.
In comparison with the opposition, they look rock solid. And I can't remember seeing a top class, and they're a top class German side, give so much space.
Dixon won't let Placente past. Still a little while before he starts full time on his restaurant. And, works on getting the handicap down, Lee Dixon. Pushed by Thierry Henry. If you tuned in late, I'm afraid it was a tactical error. You missed 2 fantastic goals at the start of the first half through Pires and Henry for Arsenal. Patrick Vieira has added to those very early in the second half. Whilst Bayer Leverkusen statistically evidently have had more of the ball, Arsenal haven't half used that ball better. Look at those, twice as much very nearly Leverkusen have had in terms of possession.
Yeah, it's all been backward and square, the majority of it. They've hardly played one telling ball. I think there was one in the first half. They got Nerville through, and there's one that's just got Berbatov through.
So Roberto, Ballack. It's a good try, and it skipped up nastily off a length. It's the Bundesliga's top scorer.
Yeah, he's opened his body, he's got his shot in. Happen to think that Seaman would have had that one. I know that can be ugly, as Nigel Martin would tell you a few weeks ago, but I think Seaman was comfortable with that.
Vieira on Ramelow. Zivkovic. Actually rode a Vieira tackle, but not that of Gilles Grimondi.
He does a good little job, I think, Grimondi. Sits in there, plugs in holes, gets his foot in, then when he wins it, he gives it to the players that can play. Where's that acres of space again for them to counter? It's unbelievable, that.
Also with a long ball, and Bob can watch it back.
Honestly, the discipline defensively, it's just unbelievable from Leverkusen.
Lucio. Grimondi nicks it up. Roberto. Basto. Roberto. Ramelow is essentially the defensive midfield player. Has got a Champions League goal this year at Barcelona. And a couple in the Bundesliga, including the second against Dortmund on Sunday. Pires. Placente. Stepanov's read the bounce really well, and then did the simple safe thing and got rid. Worth making the point that Bayer Leverkusen's big 4-0 win over Dortmund at the weekend was played for a large part against 10 men. Big Jan Koller was sent off. Had a bit of a go at Vicente. Cynics might say that playing against 10 men was a good rehearsal for visiting Highbury. So Arsenal's 11 have seen them off well here. Zivkovic.
In that game, you know, they showed far more, if you like, desire and competitive spirit than they showed tonight.
Berbatov. In towards Roberto, and Seaman made himself big. It's a very good save, actually.
Good goalkeeping, that. It was awkward for Lee Dixon. Goalie's come, he's made sure he hasn't committed himself and just allowed Roberto just to flip it over him.
Mr. Schmeichel star. Well, it's corner. Again, Henry's the first man at the near post. Prepared to get his hands dirty, or in his case his gloves. Likewise Bergkamp, dug out by Grimondi. Zivkovic. And by Ballack, taken up by Bastos. So Roberto. Lucio. So Roberto. Neville, another good block. Bastos. Away from Wiltor, at Dixon. Out by Campbell. Lucio and Ramelow went for the same ball. Vieira got rid of it. Pires is on the break. Henry's there as well. It is 3-on-2 for Arsenal. Thierry Henry. Dennis Bergkamp. Close to the keeper. Well, the three of them covered 100 yards there in next to no time.
Yeah, in fact, it was sport for options there. I fully expected Bergkamp, you know, to try one of those delightful little curlers over the keeper.
So Roberto.
The irony of it all was that that is the closest that Leverkusen have come to scoring. Good block by Stepanovs. Closed the shot out there that could have caused them a few problems.
I think you'll find that Seaman might have saved it. Stepanov's there as well, Ron.
Was that?
It'll be interesting to see it back, yeah.
It's just a flurry, and as I say, I think it's the best little bit of spell they've had.
Dixon. Wiltor. Dixon. Henry. Here's the moment at the other end, though. David Seaman, who moments previously had made an excellent block.
Flashed it across Roberto. It's in the crowd. Oh, yes, yeah, you're spot on. He's got a great foot to it.
Two big questions asked of David Seaman, and he has answered both very, very ably. Some of his harshest, some would say most unreasonable critics have asked questions of the two goals he has conceded since coming back. Schneider's cross for Kirsten and Brevitt's cross for Marley. But those who know stand by him. Dixon. Grimondi. Campbell over the top. Henry took it well and then ran into traffic. Into a juggernaut by the name of Novotny. Lucio. Bastow. He's picked up the tempo as Bastow, and here's Roberto.
Yeah, he's been zippy. He's given them something. He hasn't really put an great threat on, but at least he's given them a bit of infectiousness, and he's livened their midfield up. Whereas they'd all been sitting and passing to each other, at least he's carried the ball and gone at people.
Whether it was just a case of playing away from home, I don't know, but I must say I was surprised he was left out originally. Absolutely, played really well at home. There's Richard Wright. Arsene Wenger did say that leaving him out in Leverkusen was just about the hardest decision he's had to make this season. But he is still, as they call him at Highbury at the training ground, the goalie. Bastow. Ramelow. Ballack. Just as though Edu is about to become the third Brazilian involved tonight. He played the full 90 minutes in Schalke and the last 15 in Leverkusen last week. All his Champions League experience has been against Germans, and this will be his home debut in the competition. Grimondi is likeliest, I think, to be given the call by Gary Lewin and Arsene Wenger. Well, what a good job he's done again.
Excellent.
The personification of an unsung hero, Jules Grimondi, always does his job.
In fact, I was looking through the possibilities of who may have come off, and I must admit, he didn't really figure in my plans.
Edu, though, is his replacement. Ballack. Zivkovic. Novotny. On by Ballack for Bastow. This is good stuff now from Bayer Leverkusen, but Berbatov laid it off inaccurately, and here's Wiltor. Dixon. Do Arsenal have the appetite for more in the way that Manchester United did at Old Trafford last night?
The answer to that is definitely yes. Definitely. They're playing with a zip and a tempo that, you know, you think sometimes at this stage the game won, or almost certainly won, they'd be taking the heat out of it and not exerting any extra energy, but no, they're at it. I think what they know, particularly the players up top, they know there's more goals for them. I mean, when somebody like Henry or Bergkamp, they get an appetite for it, they know there's goals at the end of it. They want some of it.
Zivkovic. Nerva. Ramelow. So Roberto. Novotny. Bastow. Ballack. So Roberto. Tackle from Vieira. He certainly seemed originally at least to be focused on the ball.
I think Roberto moved it on him well here.
Ballack is a potential hitter here against David Seaman.
Yeah, I'd have fancied that. I mean, he's queuing up Ballack, and obviously with his goals reputation, well, I had a feeling that Roberto might have a flip at it.
Well, he's the left-footed option, and he's having a good look. Nerval's the third individual on hand. And it is Nerval. Now it's Ballack. Shielded by Vieira, on by Bergkamp, long chase for Henry. Butt's got to get this right. Stepanovs is beneath it, Berbatov went up with him. Latvian against the Bulgarian. Edu. Stepanovs. Pires. Now by Zivkovic. And Robert Pires, that's his third of the competition. And Boris Zivkovic will now miss Bayer Leverkusen's home game against Juventus a fortnight from now. Incidentally, Arsenal have Laurent and Thierry Henry in the same disciplinary position. One yellow card tonight, and they'd missed the home game against Deportivo. Bergkamp.
I was a little bit unlucky there.
Wiltord.
He's done well, Wiltord, at that tucking back, working hard, and you know, you think of Wiltord as being a running forward that scores and makes things happen, but he's done well tonight in terms of helping the midfield out.
Bergkamp. Henry. Wiltord. Came out to Bergkamp. Good tackle by Placente, not for the first time actually in that sort of position. Pires. And he's well held up by Ballack.
That'd have been terrific, wouldn't it, if that ball had just connected with Wiltord, the little back heeler.
Laurent. Bergkamp for Wiltord. Dixon. Wiltord. Edu. Henry. Laurent. Now by Ramelow. The third player in blue to see yellow tonight. It wasn't a pretty one. Arsenal, incidentally, are 18 minutes away from a second consecutive game without a booking, which, given their disciplinary record and reputation, would be quite something. Injuries are concerning him, though, at the moment as much as anything else. In particular, defensive injuries.
That's why I wonder why, you know, when he made the substitution, he may have thought about bringing somebody like Henry off and keeping them, or wrapping them in cotton wool, if you like, for the forthcoming games.
And you don't like to see them wrapped like that. Laurent being carried off and not looking happy at all, given he had loosely suspended tonight Cole, Keown, Upson, Adams. Change here for Leverkusen, and Zivkovic, the fullback, has been replaced. It is a man-for-man swap by Zolti Sebastian, another German international. He has only one cap though, and he can hardly be called a one-cap wonder. He made a dreadful international debut, but fought for 2 goals in Amsterdam. Free kick from Henry, with just too much in swing. Basta. Certainly given them some zip as Yildi Basta.
Laurent's coming back on. He looks to be limping badly there, but he's limping quicker and quicker.
That is not free movement by any stretch of the imagination.
He's got to get back there quickly as well for he'll have a defensive situation to deal with.
I think this is where Arsene Wenger is hamstrung by what he has available on the bench. Merville's corner is cut out by Wiltor. Bergkamp is steaming through the centre forward furrow, and Henry's got forward to Wiltor, could find neither. Lucio.
Yeah, the sprint support there for Wilton was phenomenal. Henry going ahead of him, Pires on one side, Bergkamp breaking.
Ramelow. So Roberto. Ballack. Sebesken. Ballack. (3-0) for Arsenal. By winning this game, they might consider themselves on the verge of the quarter-finals. That view, though, is dangerously presumptuous. Another win would still be required, and with Deportivo and Juve left to play, there's nothing absolutely certain about it. Lucio. Incidentally, it is going to be, I think, Arsenal and Deportivo sharing the leadership of the group tonight. In Spain, it is now Deportivo La Coruña 2, Juventus 0. The fantastically skilled little Brazilian Jalminha with the second goal, and Edgar Davids has been sent off for Juve, who are now staring down the barrel of elimination before the quarter-finals. Del Piero missed a penalty for them in last week's game in Turin. Lauren isn't moving properly by any means.
I just wonder whether it might be better sticking Edu in there for a bit, keeping him at left full back and putting Lauren into a more advanced position where he won't be so exposed.
I think certainly the talk was that if Lee Dixon hadn't been fit for this game, then Edu would have had to play left back, so Lauren right back. Aimed in by Sebesken, but in advance of Berbatov. Novotny in hard at the back of Thierry Henry. Life has rarely been so busy for the Arsenal physiotherapist Gary Lewin. His treatment tables all occupied, and, with bodies to spare. Edu. Bergkamp coming off the shoulder, but just too soon.
Not let them down at all, has he, Dixon? Solid, reliable, done his job very professionally.
His first European appearance since the second leg of last year's quarter-final in Valencia. He has such a level-headed attitude to not just football, but life in general. Even knocking on 38, he's just excited to be involved, he says. At this level, this late in his career.
I actually thought that he could have had major problems today. I thought that the two left-sided players from Leverkusen would have attacked non-stop at him, but he's had a lot of help from Wiltor, but he's dealt with a lot of it himself as well. Kept him very quiet, Roberto.
Bergkamp. Henry. Wiltor.
Oh, that's unlucky. That would have been another picture goal, and he could have just spun round as he intended to and set himself up for a shot.
It's unreasonable even to try these things. Vieira. Bergkamp. Vieira was charging through the middle. Ramelow away. Berbatov. Sebesken, Nerval. Oh, Dixon back. Not sure quite what either had in mind.
I bet he's turned around to see him and he said, he'd have got that when you were younger, son. I thought you used to be quick.
75 years between them. I hope they communicate better in the post office queue on a Thursday morning.
That's the sort of thing after the game, particularly if they see you through, and they should do it. They'll be having a right laugh about that at the end of the game.
You can at 3-0 up. Nerville's corner. Seaman got palms on it. Bastert won it back. And got away from Dixon. Edu at the near post. It's a goal kick.
Just looking at Vieira, are you sure there's only one Vieira on that pitch? He's just blocking, he's charging off up front ahead of the strikers. He just blocked something at the near post.
He was actually the most fouled player in Leverkusen last week. Patrick Vieira. There is Inamoto. He's going to get a run out, which is nice for him and great for the Japanese football media, who followed him everywhere, only to be confounded when they read the team sheet week by week. Sebesken. Lauren just about strong enough to see it behind. You would assume that he would be the player withdrawn. Ramelow. Inamoto played 15 minutes here at home to Schalke, 2 Worthington Cup appearances against Grimsby and at Blackburn, but nothing since. Pires, Henry. Wilson, Bergkamp. Oh, he's hung on to that really well, Dennis Bergkamp. Oh, just wonderful! That is fantastic!
But didn't you know, you just knew when he did his little drag back, you could have bet your life on it he was going to stand it.
That is
I'll tell you what, Pete, as soon as he gets to there, you know what he's going to do. He's dug that one out. Oh, that is phenomenal. Great little feeding he deals with. It's perhaps not as clean as it was the other week when he did his drag back, but the execution, oh, that is top draw. Look at that.
The cream of the cream. We've been blessed by just gorgeous goals tonight. But that one needs framing and sticking on the mantelpiece. In amongst all that, by the way, Inamoto has come on. Edu has gone to left back. And Lauren has disappeared. Here's Berbatov in a lost cause now. There he is, for those of you who haven't seen him before. He hails from Osaka. which is where England will be playing Nigeria this summer. And there he has his own personal following. Novotny, Ballack. You rarely get a bad European night at Highbury these days. This has been immensely enjoyable. His goal, the cream to pour on your strawberries. Placente. Roberto, Placente, Basta, away from Vieira, Yildi Basta, Sebastian, oh! That's another belting goal. Bang goes the clean sheet, that is a screamer.
Hey, that's worth it. Oh, that is a phenomenal effort, that.
David Seaman's still looking up to see where that came from.
Oh, that is some shot. I mean, he does ever so well here. You think at one time there's going to be a foul and Bastard gets through. You think he's missed everybody out when he digs it out. And the fellow with the least chance of scoring comes onto it at the end of it. Sebastian, and that is some strike, that.
It's not quite Van Basten's angle, but it isn't far away.
That's a better goal. That is a better goal, I tell you. That is some strike, that. Oh! I mean, Seaman's done brilliant to get back across.
Zoltan Sebastian, his second Champions League goal this year. Vieira. Wilson. Perez. One more. Go on, give us one more. Perez. Vieira. Dixon. Bergkamp. Vieira. Henry. Neuville trying to run it clear. Henry complicating that issue. And your man of the match, Ron, is...
Well, it's got to be one of the French Musketeers, and it's him, isn't it? Oh, I could watch him forever. He is phenomenal. He's been phenomenal on a night of some great performances, by the way.
Vieira. Henry. He wants to do it for show. If you are crazy enough to argue with Ron, and I failed to see how you could, then do so on the website, itv.com/football.
God, there's been a few contenders tonight, Peter. I mean, Vieira's been immense. Vieira's been on. Perez has been brilliant. I like Wilson. What's Bergkamp been out for 3 weeks? He's come back and looked as sharp as he was when he was in his pomp. But somehow he's got he is extra special, I think, Henry. I think along maybe with the lad at Manchester United now, they might be the two best in the world.
Another change for Arsenal here. That's Jermaine Pennant, who is about to join the fray. He replaces Sylvain Wiltord, a Frenchman who didn't get a goal but contributed in no small way.
Excellent. Wiltord, excellent. Contribution going forward, terrific, but also made sure that Lee Dixon wasn't in any way exposed.
Jermaine Pennant scored a goal for Watford at Birmingham at the weekend. He wasn't allowed to extend his loan spell by Arsene Wenger. It's pretty clear why. There ain't many fit players at Highbury just now. It may be that he returns to Vicarage Road in a month or two when one or two of the injuries have cleared up.
In the meantime, he's just got to dig it out in a European Champions League match.
Yeah, it must be a blow. Three minutes to add on. Sort of game that, for anyone who loves football, could go on forever. Ramelow. Berbatov. That's Campbell, it is a corner.
You know, it's been almost a perfect team performance, hasn't it? I mean, if they hadn't conceded the goal, which to my mind was virtually unstoppable anyway, you'd say that the players that have had to do the solid stuff, the ugly stuff, have done that brilliantly.
Right back to the keeper, who's made some good stops.
The icing on the cake players have really played with some flair.
So Roberto's delivery.
He has enjoyed tonight.
Even 10 yards from his own corner flag. Oh, what a good week for the English. OK, Liverpool only got 1 point in Turkey, but that's one more than most get. Manchester United get 5, Arsenal get 4. England's #1 goalkeeper looks to be in prime form. Perez penalised.
A bit unfortunate they lifted that foot lifting business.
Just got to get a win against Deportivo now, Arsenal at home, Ron.
Yeah, that won't be easy, obviously. You know, I mean, Deportivo, a very good side. I mean, people in Spain, a lot of the Spanish people I know rate them as the best squad in Spain, including Madrid.
Very different away than at home. Same could be said of Arsenal, of course. We've been spoilt. Let's face it, we have been spoilt. Glorious goals, a 7th successive Champions League win at Highbury for Arsenal, and 8th in a fortnight from now would carry them into the last 8 without having to sweat on a trip to Turin. Dennis Bergkamp crowned the evening, an evening that deserved crowning. Goals before from Vieira, Perez, Henry.